Hey everyone, this is Friedel Hakaraja Raven. I'm here with my recap and review of Boruto anime, the series, which is episode number 245, which is titled Funamushi's Tenacity. And it was a fun episode. It basically showed our heroes having to experience. It was basically them being stuck because their plans didn't work. And then by the end of the episode, things got very, very serious. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next. So, coming back to the episode, it opens up with Hibichiko basically walking away. She is like, you know what? She's basically talking to herself and she's like, you know what? I did the right thing. I don't want to participate in the fight which we're going to lose. I don't want to die with all of those people, good-natured people. She's basically talking about Kagura, Bruto, and his crew. And she's like, I have my chance. I have to go free. And she's like, you know what, now that I'm free, what do you think I should be doing next? But she's like, you know what, I don't want to join up with the Funato clan or meet up with my previous leader, team leader, but you know what, I'll figure it out. And as she's walking away, of course, Buntan and Koho are after her. And Buntan is like, you know what, Hibichiko, you should come back because we already knew which path you were going to take and whatnot. And Koho is like, you know what, Buntan, I kind of understand where Hibichiko is coming from because she must be very, very sad right now. And Buntan is like, why do you say that? And then Koho is like, you know what, it's just because she is alone and she's basically feeling very sad because we didn't go with her. And Buntan is like, you know what, we are going to get our freedom after we participate in this battle, and I'm not going to throw that chance away by running away with Habichigo. And then we get the opening credit scenes, and yeah, coming back from the opening credit scenes, we actually see Kagura, Bruto, and everyone talking about what they're going to do now because yeah, they ended up losing Habichigo, Buntan, and Kyoho, and there's a chance that they won't be able to make it back in time to help them fight the Funato clan army that Funamushi is leading. And in the back you can actually see Metal. He's feeling very, very sad because Hibichiko ran away, and Hibichiko also attacked him before running away. And yeah, Metal, he just can't believe it. Metal is like, I think Metal kind of has a crush on her, maybe. But anyway, Kagura is like, you know what, we have to do what we have to do with the numbers that we have. So the plan is that Denki, Iwabi, and Metal are going to basically act as their defense, and then their plan is that they're going to block the ravine, block the army when it reaches the ravine, and they're going to fight there in the ravine because of the very tough terrain, and they're going to beat Funumashi's army before it reaches the village. And the rocks that they'll be throwing, Iwabi did a lot of work. He cut all of the rocks in order to trap the Funumashi small army. However, as all of them are talking about their plan and what they need to do next, over here at the top you can see that one of Funumashi's people is overhearing everything, and I am like, the plan isn't going to go the way that they expect, and it doesn't. So Hibichiko is still walking, and she ends up remembering how she ended up suing the tear in Metal's pants. And yeah, I think she kind of likes him too. But again, as I said, if these two end up growing up down the line and become adults, like Metal Lee becomes an adult and he hooks up with Hibichiko down the line, I won't be against it. So as she's sewing her own rip, that own rip in the clothes that she's wearing as she's walking through the forest, she ends up overhearing the Funato clan people talking about how they know Kagura's plan and that they're going to tell Funumashi, and that Kagura and the rest didn't realize that there's actually another trail, a game trail that's basically hidden. And yeah, Bichiko here listens to everything, and she's like, oh no, they're going to attack the village from behind. But what do I do now? Do I run back to Kagura and tell them that they're in danger, or should I keep on moving and basically save myself from a war that can't be won? And as that's happening, everyone is waiting for the small army to reach the ravine so that they can trap them. And yeah, the army reaches there. However, because they knew about Kagura's plan already, they basically end up deploying the trap before our heroes could. And yeah, all of the rocks fall down. And basically now Kagura and his team is trapped in the ravine. And yeah, things are turning bad because Funumashi ends up sending his people in order to attack Kagura and the rest. And everyone is fighting fighting. Kagura's people took, not Kagura, my bad. Funumashi's people took them by surprise, so it's tough. It's tough. And as everyone is fighting, this is where, my bad. This is where one of Funumashi's people tells them about what's happening, and Funumashi is like, okay, you know what? This is good. This is good. We can defeat Kagura and his crew, and then we'll head to the village. However, as that's happening, it turns out that Hibichigo and the rest are able to come back just in time because one of the enemies is about to attack Kagura, but he's stopped by Hibichigo's needle swing attack. And yeah, Hibichigo is back, Buntan is back, Kyoho is back, so yeah, that gives Kagura and his crews an advantage against Funumashi's people, and they fight, and more people come in, and Kagura and the rest are able to fight them as well. And of course, Funumashi isn't happy about it. Funumashi is like, why the heck are these people, am I not able to kill these people? And yeah, Kagura ends up giving a pep talk to his team, and he's like, you know what, even though we're stuck in the ravine and our plan didn't work, we can't let Funumashi and his people go to the village, so we're going to make our last stand over here. Are you guys with me? And they're like, yeah, we're with you. So basically their plan is that they need to just draw out the general, and once the general is out, they can defeat the general, and then they'll be able to defeat the entire army. So they're fighting and fighting and fighting. And yeah, this is where Funumashi is like, oh, I recognize this person. He ends up recognizes Kagura, and he's like, yep, Lady Siren ended up sending me here. This can't be a coincidence. I meant to be here. I meant to have a rematch with Kagura because Kagura's the one who ended up injuring, quite gravely injuring Lady Siren. Now, I'm not really sure if Siren is dead or not. But yeah, Funumashi ends up attacking Kagura. The journal is out now, and Kagura is having a bit of trouble handling Funumashi by himself. So Bruto comes in, and yeah, this is again where Funumashi talks about how he's here to avenge Seiren's injury and whatnot. Again, I'm not really sure if she's dead or not. So while everyone is stuck in the ravine, this is where Funumashi unleashes his powerful attack, which is basically a giant water whirlpool. And yeah, it's bad. Because it's so strong and it's so potent, our heroes can't necessarily do anything against it. And Salad is like, well, we can't run away because we're stuck because of all of those rocks. And I'm like, can't they just use their Thunder Jutsu or lightning jutsu against Funumashi's whirlpool, because Funumashi is inside the whirlpool, and if you use electrical attacks, it should hurt him. But yeah, it is what it is. And before the whirlpool can end up attacking Salad and Bruto and the rest, this is where Denki's team comes in, and Iwabi ends up using his Earth Style in order to stop the whirlpool, and that gives our heroes some time, and they're like, you know what, we can't make our last stand over here. We need to go back to village, we need to evacuate the people, and then we'll make our stand at the village, because we also have fortified the village and whatnot. So they're like, yeah, let's go. So one of Funumashi's people is like, you know what, my lord, should we really go after them? Is it really worth it? And Funumashi isn't happy to hear that. He ends up grabbing the person by the neck, and he's like, do you really want me to not avenge Lady Seiren? How could you even say that? So yeah, Funumashi, this is personal for him. So of course he's going to go to the village in order to attack Kagura again. So Kagura's plan is that because Funumashi ends up using water to use his jutsu and make it powerful, he's like, you know what, we need to block all of the water sources in the village. So Iwabi and everyone have started blocking the water sources, and I'm like, you know what, that won't necessarily work. I just knew that won't work, because considering that depending on the chakra that Funumashi has, he might be able to use the the whirlpool jutsu utilizing his own chakra. So Kagura's two friends want to help too, and Kagura's like, well, you aren't fighters, and they're like, hey, we won't be able to fight, but we can still block the water sources. Let us help, Kagura. And Kagura's like, yeah, I appreciate that, you guys. So so you get a scene between Hibichigo and Metal Lee, where Metal Lee tells Hibichigo that he's very, very glad that she came back, and Hibichigo is like, you know what, I feel uncomfortable because of these gestures of friendliness. And Kyoho comes in. Kyoho is like, hey, Hibichigo, you aren't really lonely now, right? Because you're with friends and whatnot. And yeah, Hibichigo is just embarrassed. So Funumashi's people arrive and they start attacking the village, and we get a fun little scene where certain characters team up. Salad and Buntan team up, and Buntan is very impressed, and she's like, "Oh, so you leveled up, huh?" Because of Salad's 2 Tomoe Sharingan, and they team up in order to use their electrical jutsu against Funumashi's people. Iwabi and Kyoho team up, and Metal Lee and Hibichiko team up, and Kagura and Bruto team up, and they're very happy to see everyone working together. And Kagura's like, "Yep, that's exactly what I wanted." However, things take a turn for the worst when Funumashi is like, "You know what? I'm going to enter the battlefield," and Kagura's like, "Hey, just give up because there aren't any water sources for you to use for your jutsu." And Funumashi is like, "Really? Do you really thought that I needed actual water in order to use my jutsu, huh? Well, there's water everywhere." And he ends up extracting water from the blood of his subordinates, and of course that shocks Bruto and the rest. And Funumashi is like, "Yep, I learned this from our Funato Lord Arumi," and he ends up extracting the amount of water that he needed in order to use his whirlpool jutsu. And he's like, "Yep, blood is water too." And he ends up using the jutsu again. And yeah, Denki and Mitsuki get attacked. Kyoho, Metal, and Iwabi end up being trapped in a water prison jutsu, and then they get attacked as well. And yeah, things are bad. Things are bad for our heroes because the whirlpool is continuing to get stronger and larger and whatnot, and it's destroying the village. And Kagura is like, "You know what? I need to do this." And he's like, because Funumashi is basically giving this attack his all in order to avenge Seiren. Again, I'm not really sure if she's dead. Kagura's like, "I'm going to put everything in my one single attack in order to defeat Funumashi as well and protect my friends and protect the village." And he goes in and he ends up giving all of his chakra to his sword, and of course the sword grows larger and larger and larger, and he's like, "Grandfather, father, yada yada yada, give me strength." And he ends up attacking the whirlpool, and it works. It really works. Because of Kagura's attack, the whirlpool dissipates, and I'm like, wait, is Funumashi dead too? But now Funumashi isn't dead, because Funumashi is like, "You know what, I separated myself from the whirlpool at the very last second. If I hadn't, I would have been a goner." And he ends up taking Kagura hostage, who is already very, very exhausted. And I'm like, oh no, is he going to take away Kagura? Is he going to attack Kagura? But yeah, again, as I said, this episode ended up turning very, very serious near the end. So of course, Funumashi is like, "Drop your weapons," and of course everyone drops their weapons. And I'm like, "Really, Salad? Really? You couldn't use Genjutsu on Funumashi right now? Use your Genjutsu, girl!" But yeah, that doesn't happen. So yeah, Bruto and the rest are like, "Okay, so we dropped our weapons. Let Kagura go, let him go." And Funumashi is like, that's not how this is going to play out. Because I want to avenge Lady Seiren, and I want you to experience the pain that I felt when she was injured. And Funumashi ends up basically attacking Kagura, a water blade right through his chest, and I'm like, oh no, really? I was not expecting that at all. And yeah, Kagura is gravely injured. I highly doubt that Kagura is going to die. I think that they'll be able to heal him up a bit in order to keep him alive just a bit longer. And yeah, Bruto and the rest seeing Kagura be attacked like that, I was like, okay. Is the Karma Mark going to take over Boruto right now? But again, I highly doubt that that's going to happen. But yeah, the episode actually ends with Funumashi doing this to Kagura, and yeah, things are bad. Things are bad for our heroes, and of course I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next. I will be doing a written review of this for the Geek Theory. The link to that review will be down in the comment section below as soon as the review is published. It was an enjoyable episode, an emotionally enjoyable episode, and especially, again, the final moments of this episode. Wow. And yeah, I'm really worried about Kagura now. Again, I'm not really sure if he's going to die. I highly doubt it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to how Bruto and his crew are going to fight Funumashi after what he did. Because they need to defeat Funumashi now. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the episode down in the comment section below. And until next time, stay happy, stay safe, stay blessed. See you guys later. Bye.